Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Um, so there's this op-ed in the New York Times. Some anonymous senior official in the Trump administration who says they're part of the resistance, and I'm here to tell you, I'm almost positive I know who this is. I am so near positive. And nobody else is saying it yet, but I'm telling you, I'm next to certain I know who this person is. And I've thought it from the very beginning. And as I've thought about it more and more, I'll read some of the article. There's different theories that it's Mike Pence. Man, my memory's I'm forgetting. I've almost forgotten Mike Pence's first name. Mike Pence. Because the word Lodester or Lodester or Lodestar, I think it's Lodester. I've never even used that word in my life. Supposedly he uses that word, and it's in the piece, so they thought maybe it was Pence. It's not Pence, no way. And then, then there was also somebody was referring to the article because lots of people are saying you have an op-ed, it shouldn't be an anonymous source, whatever. And so somebody referred to it as a he, and and then they clarified, said that was just like a mistake, and that it's not. That doesn't mean it's a man or a woman. And actually, I heard Trump, and in this clip here. I'll play some of it because I don't want to play the whole thing. It's like 3.5 minutes long. He's with lots of police officers. I think it's some kind of event at the White House for law enforcement. He talks at length about it, and he's going off quite a bit, which is just fine by me. I think he's great, dude. I really do. And, people say, and the person in this piece says that he rants and that he changes his mind and that he's all over the place. And that's just a fast-paced management style of somebody who's like not tied to anything and he's just constantly working, and it basically we'll just we'll work our way through everything, and things change, and it's just a constant pressure of trying to do their very best. It's just good old-fashioned doing your best. I mean, that's what he forces people to do, including himself. I think he puts pressure more on himself than anybody else. I'm gonna get to the piece in a second. I mean, like the whole loyalty test, okay? And I'm not a huge fan of of having to bow down to somebody. I'm not. I don't like that. But I actually believe that probably the person who is the most loyal is him. I think he's more loyal to his subordinates than they are to him. And that's the kind of person he's loyal to the American people, That's what he's talking about there. All right. So, but he refers to this person as a he. So he thinks it's a he. Trump does. It's not a he. It's not. I tell you, I might be wrong about who this is, and I'm not. But one thing I'm really close to certain of is it's a female. And I think that whole sort of slip of somebody referring to the person as a he from the New York Times was on purpose to help disguise this person's identity, because I do think it's a she, and I'm almost positive. I don't know this for sure, and this is just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure it's a she. It's definitely a female. And I'm pretty sure I know who it is, and I'm going to tell you in a second. All right. So here's the article, and we don't need to go through it. I am part of the resistance inside the Trump administration. All right. So I worked for the president. But like-minded colleagues and I have vowed to thwart parts of his agenda and his worst inclinations. It's just Bush people, okay? Bush can't stand Trump. I mean, a lot of people, I bring this up again and again. Believe me, I'm going to get to this. A lot of this, Bush, Obama, they're all the same thing. But, this Russia investigation is mostly Bush. Bush is behind it. People don't see it that way. I totally do. But it's all the same. Bush, Obama, Clinton. It's just hilarious that this person is espousing morality is the reason, I just don't have time to go into it. I mean, the people that have died because of military campaigns from the Bush years, the people that just rob us blind, that's morality. Them ripping us off and them getting rich and living the high life, and we're made to thank them for that. That's morality in this person's eyes. Because they put their napkin on their lap, or something. It's silly. But so let me just get to it. All right. So President Trump is facing a test to his presidency unlike any faced by a modern American leader. I just want to point out a few things that to me tell me who it is. And I thought who it was. I really did think this before I even started reading it. I thought, who could this person be? And then I came up with who I thought it was. And then as I read it, it just made me believe it more and more. More even confirmed what I believed. So I'm looking for the words that stood out to me. To be clear, ours is not a popular resistance of the left. We want the administration to succeed and think that many of its policies have already made America safer and more prosperous. This person loves to use that word. It's this person, I'm telling you right now. All right. I'm just looking for the stuff that stood out to me. Sorry. I wasn't really super. I prepared for this, but on my phone at the Paoli house. So, all right, here's one thing. It says, don't get me wrong, there are bright spots that the near ceaseless negative coverage of the administration fails to capture. Effective deregulation, historic tax reform, a more robust military, and more. But these successes have come despite and not because of the president's leadership style, which is impetuous, adversarial, petty, and ineffective. Those three words, if that's not a female, I'll eat my head. Okay? That is absolutely a woman's words. And I'm not, for female, female subscribers that watch my channel, this is not anything against women, but I'm just telling you, those are words a female uses, without a doubt. All right? There was something else up here, though, where it mentions our country, and it says this country. And to me, that's somebody who isn't necessarily maybe an immigrant, but somebody who comes from an immigrant family. And the way she referred to our country as this country. To be clear, ours president is a populist of the left. But we believe our duty is to this country, and not our country, this country. And I'm not insulting this person. I'm just saying people use certain words because of how just because of who they are. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't bother me that this person's an immigrant or comes from an immigrant family. But that did stand out to me, partly because I already had a formulation in my head as to who this is, but that did. It did just it meant something to me. There was another thing in here. It says about, refers to the West Wing. I should have been more prepared for this, which basically, and they referred to it almost like in third person, like they're not part of the West Wing. So this is a senior official, but they're not in the White House. They don't work in the White House, inside the White House on a daily basis. They may meet with the White House all the time and sit at the table of all the senior level advisors, but they're not there every single day. Okay? I got to find that. So there is literally no telling whether he might change his mind from one minute to the next. So what? That also is a female talk, and it really is. A guy doesn't care. He's your boss. You work for him. He can do whatever he wants. He's the president of the United States. He won. You want to be president? Run for president. Then you can change your mind anytime you want. That's how it works, man. The erratic behavior would be more concerning if it weren't for unsung heroes in and around the White House. Some of his aides have been cast as villains by the media, but in private, they have gone to great lengths to keep bad decisions contained to the West Wing, though they are clearly not always successful. And she's speaking to them, they, in the third person, because this person doesn't work in the West Wing on a daily basis. And then she goes on to talk about John McCain. She brings him up, and that's where that word laudster comes in, right? And she speaks of him sort of glowingly and with respect. Actually, here's another point. I forgot all about this. Okay, so she's going on. We fully recognize what is happening, and we are trying to do what's right, even when Donald Trump won't. Okay, so it may be cold comfort in this chaotic era, but Americans should know that there are adults in the room. Another thing a female says. We fully recognize what is happening, and we are trying to do what's right, even when Donald Trump won't. The result is a two-tracked presidency. Take foreign policy. That's what this person decides to basically focus on first, and mostly foreign policy, because of who this person is, because of what this person's job is. I'm telling you, I know who this person is. Okay, and then she goes on to it, but it doesn't matter. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying the fact that this person, this is what she decides to talk about. Foreign policy indicates who it is. And then she goes on to talk about, and I don't need to go into the details. I'm just using that to illustrate I know who this person is. So she goes on to talk about John McCain. Senator John McCain put it best in his farewell letter. And then he says, we may no longer have Senator McCain, but we will always have his example, a laudster for restoring honor to public life in our national dialogue. I only thought of this seconds before I made this video. But again, people said that maybe it's Mike Pence because he uses that word a lot, okay? But you can forget that. It's not Mike Pence. And you can even forget about the word laudster. But Senator John McCain, her bringing him up, is significant because Senator John McCain, his best friend, unequivocally his best friend, is Lindsey Graham, the senator from South Carolina. Okay? Which brings me to who this person is. I don't know this for sure. It's just my opinion. I'm just speculating. But this is Nikki Haley. It is. It is totally Nikki Haley. I'm telling you, it is. And, you know, I hope Trump, somebody watches my videos, man, because it is. And Trump thinks it's a he, but it's not a he. You know what? That's the end of this video, but I'm going to play a little bit of Trump before I do close this out because he's pretty awesome here. And this is what this person like criticizes him, just speaking freely, speaking his mind, speaking honestly, openly, not unafraid. I like it. It's just fine by me.
Because they covered the election incorrectly. So if the failing New York Times has an anonymous editorial, can you believe it? Anonymous, meaning gutless, a gutless editorial. We're doing a great job. The poll numbers are through the roof. Our poll numbers are great. And guess what? Nobody is going to come close to beating me in 2020 because of what we've done. We've done more than anybody ever thought possible. It's not even 2 years. So thank you very much.
I agree. I don't think anyone is going to come any close. And you know, another thing they talk about in that New York Times piece, this person brings up the 25th Amendment, basically where she suggested that the cabinet was considering trying to remove him. You know, like, I wasn't even aware of the 25th Amendment, that basically because if the president isn't able to do the job, they're able to, you know, through the 25th Amendment, remove him from office. Insanity. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching my videos. I'm telling you right now, it's Nikki Haley. It's just my opinion. It's just speculation, but it is. It is. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.